Hey folks, good evening. So let's stop the screen share and let's get going here. Just 1 second, speak of you. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so okay, this recording on slide, beautiful. Okay, so just to follow up, last week we did Get Your Sexy Back call, which we are launching our campaign. And this is going to be starting on December 1st. And I just wanted to remind everybody that we have a wonderful, wonderful group that is growing. And I know that Sylvie also has a group, and many of you may have your own group. But it's really, really important that we support the group, the active team group. Turn your meta switch on, really, really important, because we want to use these tools as you guys start doing your ad campaigns, you start doing your organic ads, whatever it is you do. These are going to be the kind of environment where you'll be able to bring your customers, interested parties, people who are maybe bought the product one time, and then from there to give them that social credibility. This is super, super important. So it's not just about these ads, but it's about to have an environment where they can actually see months and years in collaboration from other people that are using the product, sharing their stories. And we really do recommend for you to participate. I know Mireille has posted in there and she's put a few comments. I think Marie-Paul shared a recipe. I know Tammy and I posted a bit of a training. There's something else I want to post. Didn't have a time to do it today, but it'll be done either today or tomorrow. Little training that we did this morning. And the thing is that we really want to encourage the participation, because it is the participation that's really going to make this thing work. And the MetaSwitch is a fantastic product. And I took it for granted until we ran out, and I realized, oh my God, I can't wait to get back on it. And when I did, this time I made sure I have at least 3 months supply. So if God forbid something happens, then at least we have some products until we have. But it looks like as of the new year, things are going to be going pretty smooth. So I look forward to that. So in the meantime, let's get ready to prepare for the campaign that's coming up starting December 1st. The following campaign we're going to be doing on the CellGVD in the new year, and that's going to be really, really awesome. And each of these campaigns are going to be associated with a Facebook group to create that social proof. So, and I know, Tammy, I'm grateful because you're the one that's really pushing me to do this. I know sometimes I procrastinate, and and I know you keep encouraging, come on, let's do it. And we did it. So did you want to add a few things before I introduce Bobby?
I figured if everybody's doing their New Year's resolution in January, we got to be ahead of the game, right? So yes. December 1st, everybody's already into the program. They're not going to look at anything else in January. So this is our time, you guys, to really step it up, to get back to the people that may have gone inactive, may have been a little bit discouraged, and just invite them to have some fun with us. And what I love about what we're creating, it's not just the Switch bottle. They're not buying a Switch bottle. They're buying a community. They're buying they're buying into recipes that we've all used and got results with. They're buying into the Flex program, the 3 months program. They're buying into the exercises. We're going to talk a lot about protein this time around, the importance of protein and muscle mass and protecting the bones and all of that stuff. And so when we talk to people about this, it's more about the whole picture rather than trying to sell them on another product that they've seen a million things online. You know what I mean? So I think that this is going to be a lot of fun. I reignited somebody this week, so I was excited about that. And she's super, super pumped to be part of the program. And yeah, go ahead, Chris.
That's cool. I've also enrolled a gentleman that we're doing business with by the name of Ivan Lloyd, who really needs his products. Yeah. And he's really ordering now 2 max 1. And once the CellGVD is back, and then he's going to get back on that. And but you get him on the Switch. So the switch, it's another thing we work with. So at the end of the day, folks, it's our products are so good, and that's what I'm so proud of. Regardless of the challenges and obstacles we come across, people don't want to let go of these products. I know Tammy and I do not want to live a day without them. So on this note, I want to introduce our guest speaker here this evening. Many of you know her. Her name is Bobby Horn. She is just a wealth of knowledge with all of her products. And I know that since she's been working with Max International, she's been contributing and educating all of the associates in the world in reference to what we have. And what I love is, and again, Bobby, it's entirely up to you. If you have a PowerPoint, you have complete control. And I know you're always super well organized with that. And I really appreciate that. And this training you're going to share, we're going to be able to, again, it's going to be part of this private group. It's also on the Active Team Group Facebook page, so people can actually follow up on all of this. I know we have some folks that are coming in very often from the Philippines or all over the world that are actually following up on the Facebook Live. So Bobby, I want to pass this call over to you. I know that this team really knows you well, but thank you for taking the time, and really, really appreciate the commitment you have towards our products, towards Max International, and towards the well-being of all associates. I'm going to turn this over to you.
Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Does my sound good?
Perfect. Excellent.
Okay, excellent. Let me launch this presentation, because this is one of the presentations I quite honestly love to give, because I just think it is, this is a program that I actually found out about before it actually launched. So I was part of the beta group that got to test the Metaswitch system. Now, I'd been working with Joe Wojcicki for several years doing presentations, and I said, if we ever do get a weight management system, I really want to be included, because I know the science that we have, and that's why this is so important. I know that Dr. Nagasawa does not put together fluff. And I can tell you that it was a really good group of people that put this together. So let's talk about this, because, for us, it's no longer about, being on a diet. That's not what this is about anymore. It's about lifestyle. And if you think about lifestyle, it's being really smart about the supplements we take. I don't know about you, but I don't have a limitless budget. So I have to be really smart about what I take. And I'm very selective about the foods I eat. If you follow me on Facebook and you follow, everyone talks about the breakfast that I post, because I love to have vegetables for breakfast. But just selecting the right foods is just so important. And then being really focused on, really being fit for the rest of our lives. I watch Chris and Tammy on Facebook, and I know how dedicated they are to working out. And it's part of what I love to do when I watch them and when I follow them on Facebook, because I see them living this fit life. But let's talk about reversing this trend, because quite honestly, the majority of the Western world is not on the right path. Our lifestyle is responsible for 90% of the diseases that we have, such as heart disease, cancer, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. We have the power, quite honestly, to prevent many diseases just by simply modifying our lifestyle. Even if you have a genetic predisposition, and I'm going to show you one in a few seconds here, improving lifestyle can literally reduce your risk up to 50%. And it's not, just one thing. It's how you eat, how you drink, how you supplement, and how you exercise. And quite honestly, finding the correct tools to support our efforts is really the key. Because we understand that inflammation is the most significant consequence of excess weight. Excess fat really does create systemic inflammation, and it affects all of the organs of the body. So when we start looking at inflammatory diseases, we know that these diseases are increasing as our society becomes heavier and heavier. We also know that diabetes and cardiovascular disease go hand in hand, as does, and I think everyone is aware of this, type 2 diabetes and things like heart attack, stroke, and now Alzheimer's and dementia. Obesity shortens our lifespan and our health span. And our health span is how long we have that really, really healthy life. So we're going to just really quickly go through some of the keys to a healthy lifestyle before I tell you about why the science that we're bringing to the table is so important. We have the ability to help people create a much healthier lifestyle. Now, obviously, we talk a lot about eating a diet rich in whole foods. As close to the ground as you can get, vegetables and fruits and lean protein, healthy fats, whole grains, and reducing as much of the processed foods as we can. Balancing our blood sugar. So every snack and every meal should contain a protein, a fat, and a carb. That's how our bodies are made and how we need to eat. Make sure you're hydrating, because especially in the holiday season, this is the time of year where people don't tend to drink enough water. Make sure you're hydrating, especially if you're consuming any alcoholic beverages. Make sure that you're still maintaining that physical activity during the holidays, whether it's just a brisk walk 3 or 4 times a week, that is important, as well as doing a little bit of resistance exercise. That could be something really simple like resistance bands or light weights or kettlebells. Yoga and Pilates also fall into that resistance exercise. And then stress reduction. The holidays are hard on a lot of people, and that is when we tend to make poor choices in our food. Find your favorite stress releaser, whatever it is. It could be walking, running, reading, meditation, yoga. It could be prayer. Whatever it is that allows you to manage the stress of the holidays. So, beyond the fads, where do we begin? Now, if you could take a look at that center section that says ApoE E3, General Dietary Guidelines, the majority of the people on this call are going to fall in the left side of that category under the E3, 50 to 65% of the people on this call. And if we just focus on 25% of our calories coming from fat, and those are good quality fats, not the junk, 20% of our calories coming from protein, lean protein. And I mean really good quality protein, eggs for breakfast. Make sure you're including chicken and fish and all the protein that you enjoy, making sure that they're lean. And then carbohydrates. Now, you probably have a different definition of carbohydrates than I do, because I refer to those as green carbs. Those are fruits and vegetables. You can have a little bit of starch here and there, but just don't make it a part of every single meal. So 55% of your calories should really come from fruits and vegetables. You can have moderate alcohol. 2 glasses of red wine a night is absolutely fine. For those people in the middle, it will raise your HDL. And then your aerobic exercise and strength exercise, a blend of 50-50 works extremely well. So here's the genetic struggle. Now, let me tell you why I included this particular piece. When I first got started with the switch capsules, I just had no idea why they worked so well for me. Now, this genetic struggle that you see right here with the 3 red dots, that's me. I have the FTO gene, and that's called, I'm homozygous, which means I got a copy from my dad, copy from my mom. It means that the majority of the time when I have a meal, I really don't feel full, or at least I didn't until I started using the switch capsules. Talk about energy balance. I need to make sure that I eat very, very well balanced diet, because that is so critical to my well-being. And I can tell you that overeating, having a food addiction, I was dreadfully connected to chocolate before I found the switch capsules. Now, that may not sound very meaningful to you, but I can tell you that I always had chocolate stashed somewhere in the house. I used it to deal with stress. But what I can tell you is that the way that the switch capsules work, because of the formulation, my FTO gene was silenced. My food addiction gene was silenced. And of course, I already had all the energy I needed from making sure I supported my glutathione. So I can tell you that this gene, these 3 genes, were silenced very quickly. And I didn't understand it till I spoke to Dr. Margie Smith, who's the molecular geneticist with Smart DNA. And she said, basically, this formula has silenced these genes. So the good news is we know it's safe, we know it's effective, and we know it's healthy. And that, in essence, is the key. Because this formula has been proven to support a healthy metabolism, and we'll talk about why. It helps to reduce the appetite and the cravings, the things that don't serve us well. And we know that promoting regular glutathione production helps to remove the toxins that are stored in fat. And we'll talk about why that's so important. And of course, you have those powerful antioxidants. You have not only the ribosine formula, but you also have alpha lipoic acid. The importance of this is that you're maintaining lean muscle, including heart muscle. And I'm going to tell you why that's so important. I had a friend whose husband went on one of the non-proven formulas. He lost weight very, very quickly, but he also lost heart muscle. Unfortunately, when he suffered a cardiac arrest, there was nothing they could do. He had lost so much heart muscle from losing weight quickly. Switch is a safe, effective, and healthy weight management tool. Here's the ingredient deck, and this is what you need to know about this formula. This was the first thing I looked at because I wanted to understand what was in this ingredient deck that was going to be safe for me. I evaluate every single thing I put in my mouth. I want to make sure that I'm not taking anything that's going to be harmful, especially when we do such a great job of making sure we support our glutathione production. Why would we want to put anything in our mouth that didn't serve us well? So if you look at vitamin D2, we know that D2 is really important for belly fat. And quite honestly, most people do not have enough vitamin D in their systems. And I think that was certainly clinically proven during COVID. You know, it was very problematic. Making sure you have adequate vitamin B6 is really important, as well as vitamin B12. But what I'm going to hop down to is this proprietary blend. And we're going to talk about why this proprietary blend is so important. This is the Switch Advantage. It's stimulant-free, and it supports the body's metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. We've already talked about how important it is that you have that perfect mix of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. This is designed to interact with something called the AMPK pathway, which helps the body build your metabolic system to burn fuel. So everything you put in your mouth has to have the fuel to burn it. So oftentimes we will tell you, increase your activity, whether it's walking on a daily basis or walking 3 to 4 times a week, just you'll get yourself into some level of activity. We know that the AMPK pathway is really an important regulator of lipids, which is fats, and glucose, which is sugar. So basically fat and sugar, or the glucose comes from the foods that you eat. It helps with the metabolism. And this is really, really important because you do not want stimulants to be able to do this. You want to enable the body to do it. So these are your synergistic ingredients. And I love this formula. This helps to support the transformation of food into fuel to give you energy. It supports the maintenance of muscle, and that includes heart muscle. And this is why this can be so incredibly important, that you maintain muscle for a number of reasons. Number one, as we age, we tend to lose muscle anyway. But we definitely do not want to go on an eating program that deprives our body of being able to maintain that lean muscle. Lean muscle occupies half the space of fat. And it is so important because it helps your metabolism. The more lean muscle you have, the stronger your metabolism. And obviously, glutathione is important for removing the toxins that happen. As you burn fat, you're going to be releasing that fat, and you're going to be releasing the toxins that are stored into it. Also, obviously, making sure we support the immune system. Not everybody feels well when they're on an eating program, but if you've tried the Switch capsules, you know that you actually start to improve your health. One of the things I noticed pretty quickly was my sleep improved quite dramatically when I got started on the Switch capsules. but it's this gorgeous blend of vitamins and minerals that support this as well to make sure that we avoid the deficiencies that can lead to health problems. Alpha lipoic acid is a wonderful antioxidant. It's a powerful antioxidant, and it helps to promote a healthy metabolism. Unlike most antioxidants, alpha lipoic acid is both fat and water soluble. So this really enables the formula to penetrate every part of the cell and helps to stimulate the metabolic master switch called AMPK. And that responds to how much energy is available to the cells. And this is the power of the AMPK activation. We know how important this is to make sure that we're actually launching the AMPK pathway, because it's a protein-based enzyme that regulates cellular energy, metabolism, and even glutathione levels. And it acts as a fuel sensor for every cell in the body, which I think is really important because it turns on the energy-producing pathways that support metabolism. It helps us to reduce fat accumulation in the blood and helps us to improve insulin sensitivity. And it's been linked to, a lot of physiological benefits, including the impact on weight loss. So this is how it actually helps. It increases fat burning. It suppresses fat synthesis. It enhances glucose uptake. It acts as an appetite regulator. And you're going to have access to all of these slides, so don't worry that you're missing anything, because I want to be judicious with your time, but you're going to have access to these slides so that you can go over this again and make sure that you understand it. It also increases energy expenditure. So you actually get a boost when you start to support AMPK pathway because it helps the mitochondria, which are your energy cells. Absolutely beautiful blend. And then it's the other ingredients as well. The pantethine, which is a derivative of vitamin B5, helps to reduce the triglycerides and fats in the blood. So that can help with LDL and HDL cholesterol. LDL is the lousy one. You want to make sure it's low. Your HDL is your happy cholesterol. You want to make sure it's high. Leucine. This is one of the ingredients that Dr. Nagasawa and the rest of the development team made sure to include to prevent muscle loss as you lose weight, so that you preserve that lean tissue. And keep in mind, the more lean tissue you have, the more lean muscle you have, the higher your metabolism and the more fat you burn. That's why when you start to exercise, as you include exercise into this routine, you actually get more benefit from it. Then there's American ginseng root, and we know that it enhances energy levels, but it also helps to reduce fatigue. And I know you probably know people who've gone on eating programs and they don't feel well. They don't have the energy that they need. This formula helps to support that, as well as reducing appetite and cravings. And it does have a little bit of an effect on metabolism. Not huge, but it's synergistic. It works together with the other ingredients. And animal studies actually have shown that altering that fat formation delays intestinal fat absorption. So that is extremely important. And citrulline, this is one of the ingredients I got very excited when I read about, because if you can control abdominal fat, that's where most of us start to collect fat. When we gain a few pounds, where do we notice it first? We notice it in our middle. This is an ingredient that not only helps to maintain our lean muscle, but it also helps us to reduce abdominal fat because it increases brown fat, which is thermogenetic. Now, if you think about weight loss products that may have been on the market years ago, even for years, they probably are still on the market, and they promote thermogenesis. That just means that it increases your metabolism and allows you to burn energy faster. So we may need to make sure that maintaining lean muscle and burning that abdominal fat is important. And This is one of those ingredients that Dr. Nagasawa and the team included to make sure that we could lose that belly fat. And the nice thing is it also helps us to gain that lean muscle, which is so incredibly important. And then, of course, the ribosine. What would we do with our gorgeous ribosine? So it certainly helps that during weight loss, fat is broken down. Now, we store toxins in our fat. So when those fats are broken down and they're starting to be excreted from your system, number one, you want to make sure you drink plenty of fluids, because what's going to happen is the ribosine, when you start to support glutathione production, when those toxins are removed, they're flushed out of your system easily. That's one of the beautiful benefits of supporting glutathione. The other part is just critically important for anyone who has, maybe they're on the genetic pathway to type 2 diabetes. If you can improve insulin sensitivity, you're going to improve how you lose weight. And this is why making sure that you're taking an adequate dose, whether it's Max 1 or Celgevity, make sure you do this before you actually start on the switch capsules, because we have found that those people who actually got started on the Celgevity or the Max 1 prior to starting on the switch had better results. In fact, this was even more dramatic for men who were trying to lose weight. We found that they actually did better if they started to support their insulin sensitivity first and then transitioned into the switch capsules. So that's usually, if I'm going to get a client started, that's typically where I get started. And obviously we know that ribosine, helps with our energy and our mitochondrial support. And I apologize, I got something that popped up on my screen. So here are the benefits of the metabolic switch. You're increasing your metabolism without increasing your heart rate or your blood pressure. Now, if you were to take a look at most formulas that are on the market right now, the ones that are very popular oftentimes increase heart rate. And I cannot even tell you the number of people that I know end up with a cardiologist because they are taking something that has stimulated their heart rate or their blood pressure. That is not going to take place with the switch capsules. Making sure that we have this protein synthesis and ATP production obviously is important because we're creating energy. We do not experience exhaustion and fatigue with the switch capsules that many people experience when they take something that just is thermogenesis. This is something that actually supports your health, not just weight loss, is supporting your health at the same time. And of course, we have the ribosine ingredient to support the glutathione. The MetaSwitch system is just really pretty amazing. It supports the burning of food and fat at an optimal rate. And then, that's just really important to support detoxification during weight loss. Now, you can start today to conquer the holiday weight gain. I really thought this was a funny meme that I saw on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So, here in the US, we just celebrated Thanksgiving. And certainly the sign is, don't forget to turn your bathroom scales back 15 pounds Wednesday night at 1 a.m. Most people dread the weight that they're going to gain during the holidays, but you can get ahead of the game. The choice is yours. If you want to start now, you can start today and start to conquer that weight gain. And, the goal is to be healthier, to be fit, and to be ready for 2024, because it's going to be an amazing year. So thank you, Chris. Back to you.
Thank you, Bobby. I just realized I was muted. Just bear with me here. Let's go back to speaker and let's bring back myself. I've been in. Tammy, where are you?
I'm here.
I know. There you go. Okay. So, and Bobby, really appreciate that. And folks, what I really love about this content, again, this, as Bobby was sharing, I was sharing this into our our MetaSwitch group, and it's actually everywhere. And I noticed that we have a great audience from the Philippines. I see Venus, I see Carmen. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. I know that there is a question, because I know I crossed my mind at one point, and I might have done that for a while, but I don't remember exactly if that would have been a good thing or not. Is Lucy, Carol mentioned, instead of taking 2 caps 3 times a day, how about taking 3 caps twice a day? What would be your comment on that question?
Well, you know, I actually asked one of the formulators of the switch capsules because that was important to me. I typically don't need a lot of support first thing in the morning, but what I would find was that I would need something at lunch and dinner time. So I said, is it okay to take 3 capsules, you know, before lunch and 3 capsules before dinner? I was told, absolutely, that works perfectly. So that's the way I have used it for years. I don't take 2, 2, and 2. It's 3 and 3.
Very cool. Okay, maybe I'll try that too. Okay, is there any other questions? Otherwise, we can end the call in this note. I just wanted to finish on showing you a little bit of the group that we have for you. If you're not in that group, we want to make sure that you are part of it. Just want to make sure that everybody's voice have been heard. If there's any comments or questions.
Yeah, I have a question, sorry.
Please go ahead, Lucy.
Perfect.
So if somebody wants to do this, like losing weight and whatnot, and they're already on medication, well, obviously you have to check with your doctor too, but is it safe to do that? Should they be checking with their doctor, or can they just do it, say, an hour, 2 hours away from their medication and to start with this program?
Well, okay, so define what you mean by medication. You haven't told me what kind of medication you're taking.
Okay, say blood pressure medication, heart medication, other things like for diabetes,
Cholesterol.
hypertension. I'm just trying to think of another one because I have a friend who has the diabetes and she's got and she smokes. I think she's on some other types of medication, but I think this program would be really good for her. But I don't remember now some of the other words or terms that I'm trying to think of that she may be on in terms of medication. So
Lucy, I'm going to tell,
yeah,
yeah, I would just really say if someone is on that many medications,
yeah,
I think it's safe to send the switch product detail sheet,
okay,
send it to her and get her to share it with her physician. None of us, well, I don't think any one of us on the call right now is a medical professional. I know I'm not. So I'm very cautious. And if someone told me they were on that many medications, I absolutely would say, please check with your doctor. I think it's a really good idea to, you know, if you can start losing weight, which will help with everything. So we know that the formula is heart healthy. We know it will help with blood pressure, but we cannot diagnose and we cannot treat. And in order for us to be able to recommend, that's what it would be. So we have to just be extremely careful of that. And I
right,
also saw a question from Bill. Yes, Bill, I'd actually had a doctor address whether or not we can take the capsules before bedtime. And actually, I think it's not a bad idea. I think I would certainly test drive it, make sure that it doesn't interfere with your sleep. You know, there are some things that do. So test drive it a couple of times, just see what you think. But it is absolutely safe to take before you go to bed. And Lucy, I hope I answered your question.
yes, thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Appreciate your time. Okay, yeah, so Bail, obviously you addressed it. Do you have to take it before bed? I know that I have done that. I just want to make sure that if I do that, I drink a whole lot of water.
Yes.
Otherwise I get acid reflux and I can't stand that. But I did see some better results when I took it before I go to bed. So here's the answer. Let's see here.
Chris, you're absolutely right. Adequate water is critical with the switch capsules.
Cool. Excellent. I'm just going through the question or comments here. Thank you, Bobby. Okay, tremendous switch supplement. Okay, beautiful. Before bed, would you like Bobby coming up? Okay, so Lucy, obviously she did. Let's see, do you find all the products information sheets on the back? Yes. Again, John is correct. There's a lot of information that's in the back office that you can access. And also we're trying to bring this into our private group. And again, I'll jump right there. I just want to make sure that all addressed are addressed. So it could be 2 caps twice before meals or 2 before bed.
Now, actually, I did ask about this to find out what is the maximum number of capsules per day, and it is 6. That is the recommended dosage. So if you're going to go over the 6 capsules, just do it cautiously.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. So is there any other comments or questions before I jump into our Facebook private group? And Bobby, if you want to let me know, I'll get you in there too. I know you have a lot on your plate. I don't want you to feel that you have to be there, but you're very welcome. We have about 195 people in there, and
Oh my.
yeah. So, okay. So let's go and share my screen. Bear with me 1 second. And Bobby, if you're busy, please do let me know. I will release you. Otherwise, we'd love to keep you here in case there's a question that comes in.
I'm happy to hang on a few more minutes.
Okay, we're pretty much done here. So folks, everybody can see my page here. Just give me a thumbs up to confirm. Yeah, okay, great. So again, this here is really going to be important for marketing. And again, we're going to be doing this with all our flagship products. Okay, so you really, really want to participate. And again, if you participate and you have your own guests and prospects and associates or whatever that choose to come here, it creates what we call social proof. Okay. And you see, you can over here, member requests, I will see them. There used to be some there before, but it was spamming stuff. So I got rid of them. But the moment you make the request, it's here. But when you do make the request, make sure that you do have your switch order, because I will be asking for your order ID number. Okay. And the folks, the reason I'm doing this is because now I'm not trying to pry into your personal affairs. It's because I'm trying to avoid spammers and people that are trying to hijack groups like this to sell or do whatever it is that they're trying to do. And it's unfortunate, but this is the world that we live in. So this is the reason why I have this protocol, not to pride, but to make sure that the people that are here are legitimate, it's people that actually want to participate into this program. As you can see here, we have a good group. And the fact is, every time we have content, if we do a post and the post has a link of a PDF, it'll be added on. You can access them here on their files. You can access, and this is going to grow as we evolve. Whenever we put an event, it'll be put over here. You can see that all the members over here. Or where we go, we're a little bit more than 195. So we're at 202. Okay. And then features, these are some of the posts that, for example, this call here today, this is what you're seeing in real time. Okay. And this is the call that we did last week. And prior to that, this is a fantastic little video that you can share. Now, I want you to be aware that if you're sharing a video from this group, this is a private group. So if you're sharing this to someone that is not part of the group, they're not going to see this video. It'll be blocked. So again, there's just some information that's important. And that's why I'm sharing this with you, so you're aware of everything that's going on. So I just want to make sure that everybody takes advantage of this, because whenever you do any kind of campaigns of any kind, or ad campaigns or organic campaigns, whatever you're doing, when they're involved, once this evolve and we have a wealth of information here and incredible stories. Some stories are going to be heartfelt and so forth. It's going to, again, create that social proof that's going to help make your sales, or at least maintain your customer base. Okay. So that's what it's for. And again, that's going to be happening with the Celgivity. We're going to be doing this, probably Celgivity Max 1, because everything the same category. And then we'll do that with maybe the ATP and the Infuse and so forth. And again, they're all going to be independent, different groups, because not every customers may have all the products, but you can have all of them in all these different groups. And again, we're doing this to help you build your tools for your social proof as you build online. So at this point, this is the end of the session. And Bobby, is there anything else you'd like to share as we end?
No, just go out and make this just available to everyone, because everyone is looking for solutions. They really are. And they're just looking for something that actually works. And, you know, our tagline, "This stuff actually works," is so true of Metaswitch. Just
Thank
is an
you.
amazing formula.
Thank you, Bobby. Really, really appreciate you, and thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, thank you. Now,
Thank you.
Tammy, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm telling you folks, my wife is amazing. She keeps pushing for these things, and I procrastinate. And she's the reason why this stuff is happening. So I just wanted to give her the credit, folks, because I'm telling you, she pushed hard behind all of these things. So I want to thank you, Tammy. Is there anything, Tammy, you want to share?
Yeah, I just want to add that the Flex program, the first month, is going to be up in the folders as well, to make sure that you grab a hold of those. Some of you already have it because you've already been on the Switch program. So and what I recommend to do, if you want to tease somebody a little bit, maybe just send the first PDF to somebody who's considering doing the program, and let them know some of the stuff that the people are up to right now, and some of the recipes that you've added to the group, some of the exercise stuff. People need to see the community, and that's why people stay into programs. It's all about community. It's all about relationships. People stick together when they're doing things together. So that's why it's important that we're up to big things with this. If we want to have successful programs, we all need to participate. And I dare all of you to do a reel and use a short segment of any workout. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're at home and you got a couple bands, just go on YouTube and just kind of do a couple of little things. Walking, you know, some brisk walking outside. Just get a stick. I mean, that if you don't have a stand to put your phone on, that is the best Christmas gift you're going to ever give yourself. And Chris can even post in the group the one that we bought that's really phenomenal for traveling, and it all forms up in here so it protects itself. Let's see if you guys can see this, because I bought a lot of really cheap stuff and they broke. So we can travel with this one here all the time. It's phenomenal.
And this is a tripod here, folks, just for clarity.
Yeah, so get one and just do some pictures and videos. Yes, it takes time, but the leverage that you'll get from this is unbelievable. And, it's the little things that you do every day. And anybody who's a trainer here, Nide, you know, Sylvie, you know, Janet, you're always training. And I know Denise, you know the habits of all this. And anybody who's got coaches and have been trained, we're not coaches by far, but we follow programs all the time. And I've been doing this all my life. And the little things that you do every day consistently is so important. Don't think that those little things are not making a difference, because it's making a difference here, number one. Because if you can do this for a week, 7 days, commit to 7 days of doing something of some type of a movement, you're going to create some habits that you're going to really love. And when you start moving the body, you start feeling better. And when you feel better, what do? You open the fridge and you want to eat healthier. And of course, drink plenty of water. That has got to be the big thing. If you want results with Switch, you got to be drinking water. And yes, you're going to go to the bathroom. You're going to pee. It's called normal. I had people I'm talking to and they said, well, I can't go to pee often because I have a job. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. I mean, if a boss told me that I couldn't go pee, he'd be out the door. It's part of life, right? So, you know, get used to the habits that you're gonna accumulate by doing this. And maybe one other thing, some of you have been on the program for a while. You're going to have a different smell, right? When you go to the bathroom, that is an amazing sign. Okay, so when you have new people on this, you got to let them know these things so they know what to expect. So when they go into the bathroom 4 or 5 times more than they ever did because they're drinking more water and the product's working, then they're going to go, oh, that's normal. Or, oh, they go to the bathroom, it's a little bit of a different smell. Well, guess what? Things are starting to move. It's such a positive thing. And people got to know that all of this stuff is so positive. If you create concern around some of the things, because some people are going to have cramps. And you know why? It's because they're not drinking enough water. Things have to move. Drink warm water with lemon in the morning. Get stuff flowing. They're not getting enough fiber. Like all of these things, I think that if every single one of us bring value to this group, we're gonna nail it. We're going to get a whole bunch of people that'll want to be part of this switch program. And then the next one, you're looking at double, triple, quadruple the amount of people that want to be part of this. And we'll already have the content already laid out. And again, I can't thank Sylvie enough for all the effort she put into that last 90-day program. I know Janet was part of it, and Mide was part of it, and Olga was part of it. And I know Allison, a lot of you contributed to it. So I think that if we really, really come together with this one, we can do great things. And guys, please, we need your participation.
Participate.
Guys,
we need you to participate.
It can't be just the girls.
Don't be opposers, folks. Don't be opposers.
Yes.
You've got to participate. We need you.
Yes.
We need you to participate. I know
Even
it's an
if your
extra
wife-
effort, but it's worth it.
Even if your wife makes a shake and it doesn't taste that great. Anybody ever see the video that I did with giving Chris a shake? He almost died. But he knows it's good for him.
It's
Guess
good
what?
for me. That's my motivation. It could taste like, I won't say
That
it, but
video was so popular because it was funny.
it was
Because
freaking
women
awful.
tend to
But
give,
I
they
know
try
it's
and
good
make
for
their
me.
husbands healthy.
My body was grateful, my love.
Yeah.
My body was grateful. My taste bud hated it with a passion, but man, my body was grateful. So
But-
that is good. But listen, folks,
So the message is to have some fun with it, do some creative stuff. If you're a couple, do some fun stuff, yeah.
just wanted to
High
mention,
quality.
Lucy also mentioned that she's willing to transit a PowerPoint. This is awesome. The one thing, folks, I want you, I guess I'm referring to the PowerPoint that Bobby did. One thing I want you to be aware, we're living in a different era, right? The AI, I know there's a lot of confusion around it, but at the end of the day, let's talk on the positive aspect of AI. One of the things is everything is posted on YouTube, and what's posted on YouTube, you can activate subtitling. And through the AI of the YouTube features, you can select, I don't know, something like 20 some different languages, maybe even more. And then you can choose. For example, today I did a training for a group of people that was in France. Long story short, I actually activated, I show them, you go to the little wheel, you activate subtitling, and then it says auto translate. When you click on that, then it asks, okay, what language do you want? So teach that to you people, so people are not handicapped by the language barrier. It's a non-issue. It's not perfect, but it's enough for you to understand the essence of what is being talked about. So really take advantage and don't let, not knowing get in the way of knowing. This is my point here. So again, everything is on YouTube, so you have every languages available today. This is not the 80s or the 90s or 2000, whatever. Today, it's a non-issue. So also, Sylvia, because there's going to be a prize. Well, as a matter of fact, we called Joe yesterday, or was it on Sunday? I forgot, Monday or Sunday. And we asked him if we could have a contest for men and women, the 2 different groups. And he said, absolutely. So we need to talk to Larry Lowe and see what we can do, and maybe having some free products with something. We'll figure this out. So yes, we're going to be having, and the announcements are going to be posted obviously in the Active Team page, the MetaSwitch group, especially the MetaSwitch group, because that's where it relates. But I want to make sure if someone's not in a group, but they are using the product and they would like to do something, then they don't have to be part of the group if they want to, but at the end of the day, we do recommend it. Other than that, I think we've covered all angles. Tammy, am I forgetting anything?
No, I think that's it. So thank you so much, Bobby, for giving us all that great information. I know that it's necessary to really have an understanding of what we have in our hands. I mean, we've been around it for such a long time and have used it for many years. And when we're out, we always gain weight in our midsection. So it works. It really, really
does.
works. So yeah,
It
so
really
it's
works.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
so important to get as many people into the program. You know, people are really sad and depressed now.
Mhm.
They really need this environment. They really do.
Fire Paul doing our weight training.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, folks,
Yeah,
listen, let's end this call. So thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you. And thank you, Bobby. Really, really appreciate the time that you put into educating us on the details.
Oh, it's
Okay,
my
really.
pleasure. Thank you, Chris. Thanks, Tammy. Thanks, everyone.
Everybody, bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss Bobby.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.